Hey guys, and welcome back to the FFF HQ. Growing up, my mom loved to make meatloaf, and at the sound of meatloaf, it instilled fear in my heart. Because she always overcooked it, it was grainy, it was bland, it was tasteless, so I just grew up and thought it was pretty much awful. But then I got married, and my husband loved meatloaf, so I was like, well crap. Now I have to learn how to make it good. So I made a low-carb, paleo-friendly, and keto meatloaf with a really yummy tomato sauce on top, just like growing up, but it's nice and moist, it's flavorful, it's tender, and it made a meatloaf lover out of me. So I hope it does for you too. So let's dive right into this recipe. So the classic meatloaf has that ketchup-y, sweet, sticky topping on top. That's delicious, but it's made with questionable ingredients. So just like that Paleo and Whole30 sweet and sour chicken, we're gonna make our own tomato sauce ketchup kind of thing. So you need half a cup of canned tomato sauce, quarter cup of tomato paste, just like that keto instant pot chili. We have our heart-healthy antioxidant lycopene in our tomatoes. For the sweetness, we're going to use 4 Deglet Noor dates, no refined sugar, healthy and full of fiber to keep you full. And then we have some salt, garlic powder, and onion powder. Little garlic fun fact, not only does it keep away the vampires, but it helps you from getting sick too often, so it's great in the colder months. That's why chili is so comforting. Stir that together, and then add a little bit of water to thin it out, and some distilled white vinegar. Turn it onto high heat, and we want to bring it to a boil. So once you bring it to a boil, you want to boil for 1 minute, stirring constantly, and then we'll reduce the heat and simmer it just until the sauce thickens, which is about another 4 minutes or so. So now that it's been cooking for about 3 minutes, it's nice and thick, and we're ready to go blend it up to make our sauce. All right, the recovering ketchup addict in me is so excited to blend this up, make it nice and creamy. So you're gonna put it into a small food processor. The small food processor part is key. Don't use a big one because then you'll be blending and blending and blending and getting nowhere, and you'll be sad. So this is a 3-cup food processor. I love my little KitchenAid because it comes in fun colors. Pop that lid on there and blend it up. So to get it smooth, you will have to stop a couple times and scrape down the sides, especially to get those dates blended in. Just be patient with it and just keep stopping and scraping. If you want to make it even lower carb, you could use monkfruit to sweeten it and then just sweeten it to taste once it's all blended and skip the dates. So once it's all blended up, we are just going to put it into a small bowl to use for later. You're there. You just caught me doing my little meatloaf dance. So let's just stop doing that and actually make some meatloaf. So first, we have to dice up our vegetables. We have a green pepper, so we need about 6 tablespoons of diced green pepper. Measure out 6 tablespoons, which is a quarter of a cup. That is 4 tablespoons, plus 2 tablespoons. 4. Now we need a quarter of a cup of our little green onions. So a quarter cup of those little guys right into our bowl. Slide that out of your way. Let's get our meatloaf on. So we have 1 pound of 85% fat grass-fed ground beef. Don't use anything lighter. I've tried it and it's awful. You really need that fat for the moisture. We have 1 egg. A little pinch of pepper. Now you can use a spoon if you like, but it's a lot easier just to get your hands in there. It's messy, but you're gonna have a better meatloaf. So, roll up those sleeves, take off those rings, get your hands in there. Once everything's kind of mixed and kind of forming a little bit of a ball, we want to add 4 teaspoons of coconut flour. This is going to absorb all that excess moisture and bind it together. So once your meatloaf is kind of formed, we want to pack it into a loaf pan. Now the secret to meatloaf is not overpacking it. You want to have some space between the meat because that allows the juice to seep in and makes a juicier meatloaf. The same goes with hamburgers. So pack it in there, not too tight. All right, sleeves can come down. We're ready for our ketchup. So you want to spread the ketchup sauce all over the top of the meatloaf. Now it's time to get a little up close and personal with the stove. So now we're going to stick this bad boy in a 350-degree oven for about 50 to 55 minutes or until the thermometer reads 160 degrees Fahrenheit. So we have our meatloaf in the oven. So if you've been watching the last 2 weeks, the first week we did some burpees while we were waiting for some stuff to cook. Now the last week we did some kettlebell swings. So today we're going to put them together into a ladder workout. So a ladder is when you go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, all the way to 1. So we're going to do 10 burpees followed by 10 kettlebell swings, 9 burpees, 9 kettlebell swings, 8, all the way to 1. You get it. No rest in between if you can. It's a quick 5-minute workout, but it is tough. So let's show you how to do it. I don't know about you, but I am breathing hard. So let's go grab some lunch. So after about 50 minutes, we're gonna check on that meatloaf. It's totally normal if it shrinks in size because it releases some of its fat. So you wanna let it cool for about 5 minutes before we slice it up. Once it's cooled a little bit, we are ready to slice and eat. I like using an offset spatula. Just wanna slide it into that meatloaf and pop it onto your cutting board. This baby is ready for action. I don't know if you saw it when I was slicing it, but this meatloaf is juicy. None of that dense and dry mom meatloaf here. So if you try this recipe, please leave a comment below and let me know what you think. The full recipe is in the video description. I also really appreciate a like and a thumbs up of the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because I'm delivering healthy and delicious gluten-free recipes to you twice a week. So go enjoy that meatloaf and make sure you come back next time because we have a low-carb crock-pot soup that you do not want to miss. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.